Hello, everyone, and welcome to Healing Sleep Stories, where you can simply listen and let go. You've done enough today, maybe even overthought enough to light up a small city. But now, it's time to pause, to breathe, to be still. If you enjoy what I do, feel free to like and subscribe, and drop your city and time in the comments. I love seeing where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a gentle fan, and let's ease into tonight's journey. Together, your breath is the first thing that says, "Hey, you're alive." You don't have to do anything for it. It's been showing up for you since the moment you arrived, no questions asked. And now, as the world hums far in the distance, your breath is here again. Gentle, honest, patient. You inhale, and then you exhale, like a quiet tide rolling onto a forgotten shore. This is the beginning. You don't need to fix anything right now. In fact, your only mission: notice the breath. Feel your chest rise, your belly expand just a little, and then the slow, smooth exhale that follows. It's not fancy, it's not impressive, but it's yours. You might be lying there with a head full of thoughts, or maybe a tightness in your shoulders that's been camping out since Tuesday. It's okay. That's just tension, pretending to be permanent. With each breath, imagine the inside of your body as a quiet room, a sanctuary. The air moves in like the sound of rain against the roof. It moves out like smoke curling from an old candle. Right now, nothing else matters. Not your inbox, not that thing you said awkwardly 3 days ago. Not whether your socks match. They probably don't, but you're horizontal now, so who cares? Let each inhale be a reminder you're coming home. Let each exhale be permission to let go. Now, bring your attention down to your toes. Are they clenching like they're holding onto a ledge? Uncurl them. Let them melt into the mattress. One by one, feel each toe release its grip on the day. Let that softness travel upward, like warm light rising through your feet, your ankles, your calves. In ancient Rome, soldiers were trained to walk 20 miles in a single day with heavy armor strapped to their backs. That's kind of what your legs feel like right now. Only the weight isn't armor, it's overthinking. Let the weight drop. Now feel your knees softening, your thighs releasing. Breathe. Ever hear of the breathing techniques of samurai warriors? Yeah, historians say some train to inhale through the nose for 7 counts, hold, and exhale for 7 more. No one's sure if it made them better swordsmen, but it definitely made them better breathers. So let's try it. Inhale, slowly, to the count of 7. Pause. And now exhale just as slowly. Feel your pulse settling, your mind unhooking itself from the usual loops. The breath is the anchor, and you're the ship, floating but held, steady. Now gently notice your hips. They do a lot of emotional heavy lifting. Seriously, stress has a sneaky way of parking itself right there. So as you breathe out, imagine your hips melting into the bed. The pelvis loosens, the lower back sighs. There's an old Ayurvedic belief that emotions, especially fear and grief, get stuck in the body's joints. Makes you wonder if your spine's been holding on to a few old stories. Let's climb the spine now, vertebra by vertebra, each one unwinding, each breath dissolving the tightness between the bones. Breathe in, your body is supported. Breathe out, your story is safe. Life in sec. Now we've reached your chest again, where the heart beats without your permission. A quiet drum, loyal and strong. Let it beat without commentary. Let it do its thing. You don't have to manage your heartbeat. You don't have to outsmart your anxiety. You just breathe. Somewhere in ancient China, around the 3rd century BCE, Taoist sages were already onto this. They practiced stillness, Wu Wei, or effortless action. Basically, don't try so hard. Just be. Imagine your lungs blooming like slow underwater flowers. With each breath, they expand outward and inward at the same time. That's the paradox of peace. You don't chase it, you make space, and it comes to you. Maybe a thought pops up, something awkward you said in high school, or a to-do list item you forgot to do again. Just notice it, then send it off like a message in a bottle, adrift at sea, not your problem anymore. You're not here to wrestle thoughts, you're just letting them pass, like gentle waves under a moonlit dock. Speaking of docks, did you know that in 1869, a Norwegian explorer named Fridtjof Nansen used a homemade kayak to drift silently past polar bears? The guy literally coasted through danger by staying still. There's a metaphor there. Now, we're at your shoulders. Oh yes, those ever-tense trapezoids that think they run the show. Let's invite them to drop. Not by force, just permission. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them settle like soft sandbags after a long day of holding it all up. Roll the sensation down your arms, elbows, wrists, to the fingertips. Your hands may still be gripping something. Let them know it's bedtime, nothing to hold. Open palms, open breath, open awareness. Now, bring your attention to your neck, your jaw, the subtle tension between your eyebrows, that little triangle of tension you didn't realize you were squeezing. Let it go. Your whole face can melt now, like a wax mask in warm sunlight. No need to pose. No need to smile. Just be soft. Historically, some Buddhist monks practice something called death meditation, lying still as if already passed on, just to remember how precious it is to be alive. This right here is your version of that. Still, quiet, fully present. You're not rehearsing stress anymore. You're remembering peace. One more deep inhale and a slow, delicious exhale. Stay here as long as you like. You're doing exactly what you came to do. Just breathe. You begin to feel like your body is a soft outline drawn in sand, still holding its shape, but gentle, blurred at the edges. The center of your awareness starts to shift, floating upward, like your consciousness is slipping into a hammock just above your thoughts. Now imagine this. Your thoughts aren't you, they're just visitors, little clouds drifting through an open sky. Some are dense and stormy, some are absurd, like, what if ducks could file taxes? Others feel important, like reminders or warnings, but none of them need your attention tonight. You're not the thoughts. You're the sky behind them. That mental chatter, you don't have to argue with it. You just let it pass, like flipping past a radio station that's all static and bad karaoke. Have you ever stood in a subway station and watched trains roll by without getting on one? That's what we're doing now with your thoughts. You're standing safely on the platform, just watching. No need to jump on. Now, feel your breath again, steady and kind. The air comes in, the air goes out. No judgment, no analysis, just rhythm. This gentle detachment you're building, it's not disconnection. It's presence without possession. It's being here without being hooked. Remember that time you doom-scrolled social media for 40 minutes and didn't even blink? Your brain wasn't present. It was hijacked, but now you're reclaiming your awareness, one breath at a time. Close your eyes if you haven't already. You're a legend if you've made it this far with your eyes open. Picture yourself sitting at the edge of a quiet forest. The trees are tall, silent sentinels. The air is cool but not cold. There's moss under your fingertips, soft and a little damp. A stream murmurs nearby, like a language you half remember from childhood dreams. You don't have to do anything, just be here. The sounds in your mind, those critical voices, those looping to-do lists, those what-ifs, they start to fade. Not because you force them away, but because you're not feeding them anymore. It's like watching a party through a window. Sure, the music is loud, but you're outside, wrapped in a warm blanket, sipping tea, not invited, and blessedly so. There's an old Zen saying, let thoughts come and go, just don't serve them tea. Tonight you're out of teacups. Let them knock, let them leave. In 1893, Nikola Tesla supposedly sat in silence for hours, staring at a pigeon. Not trying to invent anything, just watching. Historians still argue whether he was meditating, mourning, or just bored. Either way, it worked. He found peace in presence, and so can you. Take another breath. Let it feel like a wave rolling through your ribs. Not a splashy, dramatic wave, a quiet one. The kind that lulls a boat gently back to shore. Now bring your attention to your inner voice. You know the one. It says things like, you should be more productive. You're behind. Why can't you just relax? Thank it, then mute it. Imagine it turning into a cartoon character, maybe a tiny T, awking squirrel in a necktie. See it shrug and walk off into the forest, mumbling to itself. Not your problem anymore. We're not silencing the mind through force. We're inviting it to nap. Now picture a string stretching from the crown of your head into the night sky, above the clouds, past the stars, all the way to the edge of the galaxy. This is your awareness, expanding beyond the little bubble of overthinking. You're plugged into something vaster, quieter. Have you ever heard of the ancient Greek concept of ataraxia? It means a lucid state of robust calm, freedom from disturbance. Epicurus called it the goal of life. Right now, you are building ataraxia, breath by breath, not chasing pleasure, not avoiding pain, just here. Thoughts may still visit. Did I pay the bill? What's the capital of Montenegro? Am I doing this right? Let each one pass. You're not in the answering business right now. You're in the observing business. There's a theory in modern psychology called decentering, practice of stepping back from thoughts and seeing them as passing mental events, not truths. Right now, you're not stuck inside the thoughts. You're the one watching from the riverbank, feet in the cool water, letting each one float by like a leaf. And if a thought tries to grab you by the ankles, just smile. Wiggle your toes. Say, not tonight. And return to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Remember this. The mind loves problems. It loves puzzles and worries and things to fix. But peace? Peace isn't a puzzle. It's a pause. Like that moment in a concert when the music stops and the whole room holds its breath. That silence is part of the song. Now imagine your mind as a vast theater. On stage, your thoughts, running their little dramas, costume changes, spotlights. But you're sitting in the back row, feet up on the empty seat in front, big tub of popcorn, not emotionally invested. You don't have to cancel the play, just don't audition. Even ancient philosophers got this. Seneca wrote that we suffer here more in imagination than in reality. You're not escaping reality tonight. You're reclaiming it from your imagination. Feel your breath again. Soft present, reliable. It doesn't care what you did yesterday. It doesn't worry about what happens next. It just is. And so are you. Nothing to fix. Nothing to change. Just breath and awareness. If your mind wants to wander, let it. Like a curious cat exploring a quiet street, you don't need to leash it. Just leave the door open. Eventually, it'll come back. They always do, and when it does, you're still here. Still breathing. Still steady. You're the quiet beneath the noise, the calm beneath the current. Let that knowing settle in your chest. You don't have to be in control to be at peace. Just be the space where peace happens. You might not have noticed, but your body has been whispering this whole time. Not in words, of course. Bodies don't do paragraphs. They speak in warmth, in tingles, in the subtle loosening of a jaw you didn't know was clenched. And now we listen. Let your awareness move like warm sunlight across a lazy afternoon floor. Start with your face again, the forehead smooth, the eyes soft, lids heavy but not forced, like curtains swaying in a breeze. Scan down your cheeks, your lips, the small muscles around your mouth that have been working overtime to look fine all day. No more masks, no more performance, just skin, breath, and rest. Now bring your attention to your throat, this place where words try to live, the place that tightens when you say, "I'm fine," and you're not. Let it widen. Let it be a wide, quiet hallway where nothing has to be said. Historically, some ancient Egyptian priests believed that emotion lived in the throat, not the heart. They believed grief traveled upward like smoke, resting just beneath the voice. Who knows? They might have been onto something. Swallow gently, not to hide something, just to soothe. Let the breath slide down like honey trickling through warm glass. Now we travel again, this time to your shoulders. Yes, again, because shoulders are stubborn. They release, then reload. Imagine warm water pouring over them. A silent cascade, melting tension from the trapezius, the collarbone, the blades behind you that try so hard to carry invisible burdens. You don't have to carry all the invisible burdens. Just one or two if they ask nicely. And tonight, they haven't. Let the arms grow heavy now. The biceps, the elbows, the forearms, tired but grateful. You've reached your hands again. Let them curl slightly, not into fists, just into softness, like holding a sleeping bird. Each finger unwinds, the palms warm. Your hands, once tools of control, now become symbols of surrender. You don't need to grip anything right now. The world will too burn without your intervention. Let's move to the heart again, not for emotion, but for sensation. Feel it not as a metaphor, but as a physical rhythm, a steady thump, the engine of your entire story. It doesn't need to speed up or slow down. It's perfect, just as it is. Let your ribs expand like a gentle accordion, breath in, breath out. You are the instrument. The music plays itself. Fun fact, the average person takes 23,000 breaths a day. You've done it every single day of your life. So if anyone ever asks what you're good at, you've got that on your resume. Feel your lungs now. Feel the air enter through the nostrils, swirl behind the cheekbones, and travel deep past the noise into stillness. There's a Taoist story about a farmer whose son broke his leg. Everyone said, "Oh no, how unlucky." But then the army came through, conscripting boys for war, and they skipped his son. The farmer just said, "Maybe." That's your breath. It doesn't assign meaning. It just is. Now shift to your belly, this place where worry often camps out in tight knots and strange gurgles. Let it soften. You're not holding it in anymore. No flat stomach contests here. Let your belly rise like dough in a warm kitchen. Feel the breath fill the belly, then the sides, then the back, like a soft balloon expanding in all directions. This is your center, your gravity. Now your hips again. Yes, we're looping back. This is like physical jazz. We repeat, we deepen. Let your awareness sit in the bowl of the pelvis. Let it feel supported, rooted. There's an old belief in certain yoga traditions that the hips are where we store our deepest fears. So tonight, imagine opening a tiny latch down there, just cracking the window. Let the air in. Let some of that fear float out. You're not getting rid of anything. You're just making space. Now, guide the awareness down your legs, thighs, heavy, knees, loose, calves, soft like resting fruit. Your feet, oh your feet, they've carried so much, all those steps, all that tension from trying to move forward in life. Let them rest. Let each toe spread slightly. Let the soles cool like stones beside a slow river. Did you know that in ancient Mesopotamia, people believed the soul entered the body through the soles of the feet? So, if you're feeling a little magic down there, now you know why. With every breath now, feel the whole body as one. Not parts, not systems, but a single field of soft, humming awareness. And in that awareness, there's no pressure, no shoulds, no later, only now. If a thought tugs at your sleeve, did I lock the front door? What if I forget to respond to that email? Just smile. You're not answering the door right now. You're not checking notifications. You're on Do Not Disturb. Let your mind fall back into your body, like a bird finally returning to its nest. Now float a little, not literally, unless you're defying gravity, in which case, respect. But imagine your body as weightless, held gently in the hammock of sleep, like one of those space astronauts who sleeps in arms floating, face relaxed. Imagine yourself suspended in that same peace. No pressure points, no hard edges, just rest. Breathe again. Let it be the slowest one yet. Imagine it as a wave that starts in the toes, moves up through the spine, and flows out through the crown of your head. And again, this time, feel the breath dissolve any final edges. You are more ocean than object now, more mist than muscle. You're not even you anymore in the traditional sense. You're just presence, just awareness, and that is more than enough. Time is weird when you're resting. It slows down, stretches, folds itself like warm laundry. And you stop chasing it. Right now, you're not racing the clock. You're not behind schedule. You've stepped off the treadmill entirely. Time can jog around without you for a while. You'll catch up when you feel like it. Let your awareness drift, not forward, not backward, but outward. You're floating in a calm space now, not asleep, not fully awake, a place in between, like twilight before dreams. Let's stay here a while, and while we're here, let's time travel, not with gears and gadgets, just memory, curiosity, and breath. Imagine now that you're walking through an old, quiet village. Cobblestone streets, lanterns flickering in doorways. Somewhere off to the right, a cat yawns from a windowsill. There's music playing, but softly, like someone left a phonograph spinning in the attic. The air is cool. You exhale a slow ribbon of steam, and with every step, your thoughts fade into the rhythm of your feet. You're not solving anything tonight. You're just wandering. There's an old stone bench ahead. You sit, and time stops. It's like you've slipped out of the clock altogether. No notifications, no pings, just stillness. In the 14th century, certain European monks practiced something called hesychasm, a form of inner quietude. They believed you could touch eternity through silence. No chanting, no movement, just breath and being. You sit just like they did. Your hands rest in your lap, your body still, your breath a feather floating up and down. Historians still argue whether hesychasts achieved true transcendence or just passed out from boredom. Either way, they knew something we often forget. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers you can't hear when you're shouting. Now, picture a flickering candle beside you. Watch the flame dance, not wildly, but with a sleepy rhythm. Each flicker mirrors your breath. Inhale, the flame rises. Exhale, it dips, calm and low. Number 3, imagine that flame as your attention. Each breath feeds it. Not big gusts, just enough to keep it glowing. Modern psychologists call this attentional anchoring. Old school philosophers might call it contemplation. Your nervous system calls it thank you. You're doing nothing right now, and yet you're healing. Your parasympathetic system is kicking in. Your cortisol levels dropping like a mic at the end of a rant. Your pulse is like a cat's purr. You've entered what some yogis call restorative stillness. This is not lazy. This is sacred. Let your awareness expand again. This time, notice the sounds or lack of them. Maybe you hear the soft hum of a fan, maybe distant traffic, maybe just the gentle crackle of your own body relaxing. Everything is okay, even if something's unresolved, even if you forgot to answer that message, even if you left a wet towel in the washer and it's definitely going to smell weird tomorrow. That can wait. Right now, you are not a problem to solve. You are not a proj. You are not a productivity chart. You're just here, perfectly paused. Now picture a place in history where time stood still. How about Kyoto in the 17th century? A garden of still ponds, gravel raked into spirals, moss creeping along ancient stones. Imagine yourself seated there, cross-legged on a woven mat. A breeze sighs through bamboo. In your hands is a cup of matcha tea, warm and earthy. You take a slow sip, and nothing else matters. Japanese monks used this moment, the tea ceremony, to enter mindfulness, to say, this is enough. No multitasking, no spreadsheets, just tea, just now. You set the cup down. The warmth lingers in your palms, your breath remains soft, your heart unhurried, and that nagging voice that says, you should be doing more, it's gone, maybe off somewhere, alphabetizing cloud shapes or correcting grammar on street signs. Good riddance. Now you're back in your own room or wherever you are, lying still, listening. The walls are quiet, the furniture steady, and time, well, time doesn't seem so important anymore. You remember that you are nature, not separate from it. You breathe like the tide. You move like dusk. You rest like a stone warmed by sun. You're syncing with something ancient. In 1953, a scientist named Nathaniel Kleitman discovered the basic rest activity cycle. It's how your body pulses through focus and rest, even during sleep. Roughly 90-minute cycles of work and recharge. So even while you sleep, your body follows rhythm. And right now, you're entering the sweet spot, the stillness between cycles, the dip. Let yourself dip. Let your muscles forget how to hold tension. Let your jaw loosen like wet sand. Let your mind melt like butter left out on the counter too long. Even your thoughts start stretching out. No more short bursts and sharp turns, just slow loops, gentle arcs, soft spirals, the kind that make no sense and don't need to. You might think, I should go back to that problem I was solving. But why? The answer will be waiting when you wake. To enter files all night. You are not a fixer. You are not a thinker. You are a floater. Drift then. Let your breath carry you like a paper boat. If you hit a ripple, don't row. Just breathe. You'll find your way. Let your mind dip below the surface now, like a diver entering warm water. Your thoughts blur, your edges soften. No need to hold your shape. The ocean doesn't care what shape the drop was before it joined. You are part of the deep now. And time can wait. You've made it here, not to a destination, but to a soft edge. A place where the mind doesn't have to do, it can simply be. And now, we're going to let go even more deeply. Not by pushing away thoughts or fighting tension, but by unclenching. The body unclenched, the breath gentle, the mind still holding on a little. That's okay. Let's talk to it gently. Let's offer it something different than productivity or planning. Let's offer it peace. Right now, your only task is to drift into awareness without walls. Like watching clouds through a skylight, nothing to change, just floating. Imagine now you're lying in an open field. The stars above you blink slowly, like the sky is breathing too. The grass beneath you cradles your spine, and the night air has a soft weight to it, cool and wrapping like a woolen blanket just out of reach. You're not worried about bugs or weather or why you're out here in the first place. You just are. Still, safe, soft. This is the mind at rest. This is you remembering that nothing urgent lives in this moment. You know that spinning sensation? When thoughts overlap and tangle like headphone cords in your pocket? You're stepping out of that. Now picture each thought as a knot. Some are tight, some are small, some are weirdly sticky. Like that one about whether you said, "you too," after someone said, "Happy birthday" to you in 2014. No judgment. But with each breath now, a knot loosens. You're not unraveling to fall apart. You're unraveling to open. There's a concept in psychology known as cognitive diffusion. It's when we separate ourselves from the thoughts we have. So, I am anxious becomes I'm noticing anxiety. That tiny shift changes everything. Try it now. Don't say, I'm overthinking. Say, I notice overthinking is here. And then breathe. Let the thought sit on a bench across from you. Let it drink its little thought coffee, check its thought phone, and carry on. You don't have to sit with it. You're just the park. You're the spack around the thought. Now picture your mind as a wide, quiet library. All those shelves, all those dusty books, each one a story your brain's been hoarding. You're not reading any tonight. You're just walking past them, letting the silence between the shelves carry you forward. You are allowed to be here without performing, without improving, without making meaning of it all. You are not an algorithm. You're a human being at rest. Take a deep breath. Let it glide in through the nose, down the back of the throat, into the chest, and out again. Slow and warm. Now, one more layer down. Think of the part of you that always wants to get it right, that double checks, that rereads texts, that spirals into what ifs. Let them rest. Imagine them curling up like a tired child at the edge of your awareness. Safe, held, done for the day. This isn't giving up. It's giving in. To the quiet, to the stillness, to the self underneath the solving. Remember, even your thoughts need rest, even your ambition, even your healing. Some traditions say that in deep rest, the subconscious reorganizes itself, like books falling back into place after an earthquake. You're not solving. You're letting the deeper you sort things out behind the scenes. Did you know that during sleep, your brain literally cleans itself? It flushes toxins, rebuilds pathways. It's the original overnight maintenance crew. So, if you're feeling like doing nothing right now, perfect. Your brain is already doing everything necessary. Let go of the idea that rest must be earned, that you have to tick every box to deserve silence. You are already enough just by being here. Your breath says so. Your body agrees. Even your thoughts, stubborn as they are starting to nod off. Now picture yourself floating again, this time not above your body, but within it. Inside your chest, there's space. Inside your spine, there's room. Inside your mind, there's silence. It's all still here, all still yours. You've just stopped clinging. And clinging, that's the root of so much tension. Let's unclench it all. Unclench the jaw, unclench the plans, unclench the timelines and expectations and mental spreadsheets. You are allowed to be incomplete. You are allowed to pause before you figure it all out. Like the moon, not always full, yet always whole. Even ancient stories knew this. In Inuit mythology, the moon was a traveler, sometimes appearing, sometimes hidden, but always present in the cycle. You are like that. Your awareness doesn't have to shine bright tonight. It just has to stay with you, even dimly, even softly. Now feel your body one more time, not in pieces, but as a whole, a single field of being, breathing, floating, healing. You've spent enough time today thinking. You've done enough. Now you simply are, and that is more than enough. And now, as you settle deeper into stillness, let the breath become slower, softer, more like a whisper than a wave. Let your body feel heavy, cradled by whatever surface you rest on. Like warm clay returning to the earth, every limb loose, every thought quiet. You've done everything you needed to do. There is no urgency here, no finishing line, only the soft unfolding of each moment. Let your inner space widen just a bit more. Each inhale, a quiet expansion. Each exhale, a gentle surrender. Feel your forehead smooth like glass. Your chest rising without effort. Your belly warm and still. Everything soft, everything safe. If any thought rises now, let it pass through like wind across tall grass. Nothing to catch, nothing to hold. You are floating in your own awareness now, untethered, light, unclenched. Sleep may come soon, or maybe just rest. Either way, you've arrived exactly where you need to be. So stay here, let the world fall away, let your breath carry you through the night. And when you wake, you'll carry a bit of this quiet with you, like a secret tucked inside your chest. For now, just breathe and let go. Good night.